The Oramic studio is in Kent, in a converted oast house, only some 28 miles or so from Piccadilly Circus. I'm Daphne Oram, the director of the studio, and I'd rather like to introduce you to some of the very varied sort of soundtracks which are produced at my studio.
Yeah, it's exactly how it's been for years. It's going to be a hell of a project.
Right.
So, and it's such a beast. It is so unwieldy.
Oh yes, yeah, I can imagine. Jesus, look, oh, look at you. So these would have been put on by Daphne herself?
Yeah, fascinating.
Have you got any, oh look.
Oh, they're exciting actually. Some of them are just plain tape, but there are one or two with some writing on, and...
That in itself is exciting enough.
Yeah.
But this is just mind-blowing. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and build a version of it, a replica.
Oh, yeah.
And then so this one we'll preserve, and then we'll build a working version. Wow, look at the state of that. This is insane. So these were controlled digitally. That's what's really stupendous about it.
So each of these is one note in the octave?
Actually, I don't think so. It's tuned in a very odd way.
Right.
G, D, A, E, E, A, D, G. It's a guitar. The maths involved is quite cheeky.
Right.
And it's only really in tune in a particular part of the spectrum.
Right.
And the rest of the spectrum, it's a bit of a mess, which is why it's one of the reasons it sounds so haunting.
Yeah, I think.
Beware high voltage.
Yes.
That's Daphne's writing. I want to poke it.
On a card case.
Don't touch that.
That's an old.
Yeah, it's a playing card.
Painted.
Yeah, fantastic. This is just going to be awesome. Can't wait.
That is cool, isn't it? That's very nice.
That's history. Yeah, mental.
What did it do?
This is a commode turned into a...
Well, you can make full compositions with it. It's a computer system,
Yeah.
but it has these analog inputs. So these are supposed to be evenly spaced, and they're laid across here, and you draw on them, and then there's a motor, and it rolls them back.
Right.
And as they pass over the reading system,
Yeah.
it reads the difference in light and turns it into voltage control.
Okay, yeah.
And it uses that to switch the oscillators and to control their amplitude and to add effects.
No, C's not ringing. No, I'm sorry, it's just my C's are not quite... We're recording this, it ought to be good.
This would give us a little more top.
You draw the waveform,
Right.
and you put the waveform in, and that's the actual waveform it uses to make the sound,
Okay.
which
Oh, I see, okay.
which is insanely complicated and weird.
Right.
Why would you do it that way? It's brilliant.
When was it last running?
We reckon mid-70s, because she made quite experimental electronic music.
Yeah.
After a while, just the culture didn't really support her or it, so the whole thing just ended up going to rack and ruin. But it's actually a priceless piece of British electronic music heritage.
Yeah.
And it's the kind of machine that Robert Moog was building in the US at the same time, and those machines are now, you know. So this is our equivalent. This is the British synthesizer.
Wow. Honestly.
photographs probably give you some idea of this intriguing equipment, but if you would like to visit the studio yourself and see it and hear it, do give me a ring.